So I'm going to do the controversial policies first. We've done migration and we've done education, um, which I'm sure will be viewed by the globalist mafia or whatever you want to call them. But the government, the mainstream media, and the NGOs, those are the kind of three key globalist factions, if you like. They're all working together. When I say the uniparty government, I mean Sinn Féin, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, Greens, Labour, Social Democrats. Am I leaving anybody out? You know what I'm talking about. So the next policy I want to is supporting rural. One of the core principles of Irish people, again, is supporting rural and farming communities. And I'm not sure. I haven't got it up on screen there. Did they say something about climate change in there? I think they do gently, and they allow then each independent to elaborate as they see fit. So supporting local rural farmers. What's this about? There's two parts to this. There's the farmers, and there's the kind of ideology and reasoning behind why what is being done to the farmers is being done to the farmers. So, try and put it in a nutshell. The farmers, Irish farmers, are being hampered in being able to make a living growing food. That's kind of the nutshell. Irish farmers are finding it more and more and more difficult to actually be farmers because of policies, green policies, which again are being driven by the EU through the Irish government lackeys and driven again by the NGOs, amplified by the NGOs and the mainstream media. So the Irish public are left down here, thinking, well, everybody must be on board with this. Everybody must believe that the cow farts are making the weather gods angry. So look, really this is a policy on, we say climate change, but you shouldn't say climate change. I don't even know of a single person, climate denier, climate change denier. I don't know anybody who denies the climate, even a crazy on YouTube. And I don't know anybody that even denies climate change, even a crazy on YouTube. Of course, the climate is real. Nobody's denying that. And of course, climate change is real. Nobody's denying that. The actual phrase that they're looking for is catastrophic anthropogenic climate change. So catastrophic man-made climate change. That's the theory that they're actually pushing. And then they try to simplify it. And there's a lot of problems with that theory. And the main one, we'll just hit one, is that it is completely unfalsifiable. Completely unfalsifiable. If it starts snowing, that's because of climate change. If it doesn't snow, that's because of climate change. If it rains heavy, that's because of climate change. If it doesn't rain enough, that's because of climate change. If it's too hot, that's because of climate change. If it's too cold, that's because of climate change. Drought, climate change. Floods, climate change. It's just completely unfalsifiable. And if you're listening to this and you do believe in catastrophic anthropogenic climate change, please ask yourself a question, this. What set of conditions would need to exist in the world for you to accept that the catastrophic anthropogenic climate change theory is wrong? Seriously. Think now, write down the page. If this and this and this occur, then that is proof that we've got it wrong in this theory. And you will struggle in that because there is no set of conditions that would disprove climate change. Climate change is unfalsifiable. No matter what happens, it's proof, it's further evidence of climate change. If you can see what I'm getting there. So, look, the whole thing is it's a pseudoscientific woo-woo piffle. The real strip away all the nonsense. What are they actually saying to us? The world will end unless we get to introduce new taxes. That is it. That is actually what they're saying. They code it in all the things. They wrap it up in all the emotional buzzwords and all that. Do you not care about the planet? Do you know? Same thing as like COVID. If you didn't put a face mask on, then you were a granny killer. The thing, I'm not even making this up. This is real life. So climate change. Okay, so what am I really saying on climate change? Okay, what I'm really saying on climate change is I don't believe. I believe this is a corporate scam. It's all about making you poor, making the rich richer. I think there's also a kind of the next religion going on in the background there. You know, if you look at kind of Christianity, you kind of think, okay, you're born with this thing called original sins. You're born tainted, as it were, and basically you spend life trying to seek redemption. And that's the kind of my understanding. That's the core of what Christianity is. And the core of climate change will be, my opinion, transitioning into like a Gaia worship, an earth worship kind of a thing, where when you're born, you have a carbon footprint. So again, you're tainted, you're not pure and all the rest of it. And you've got to spend your life then redeeming yourself by doing all the things that the climate change people want you to do. Not driving your car anywhere, not taking an airplane anywhere. You know, you'll find that the things they need to do strangely do resemble imprisonment or control over every aspect of your life, mind, body, and soul. But anyway, so just to kind of put some practicalities in the whole thing, I think there are a lot of questions. I think any of the kind of the real, you know, intellectual heavy hitters in that actually do agree with roughly what I just said there, sure, they're just cancelled. They're not allowed. You can't have the general public seeing and listening to that opinion because they might form their own opinion. And that's not how the mainstream media actually operates. They don't give you two sides of the story and go, well, you're an adult. You go off now and decide which makes more sense to you. No. This is what you must believe. And if you don't believe this, you're an evil, literally evil person. So I think we should immediately halt all the EU-driven legislation around green policy that is hampering our farmers, that our farmers get back to growing food that we need to eat. If we're going to actually attain sovereignty in Ireland, food sovereignty is absolutely one of them. Look through history, food is a weapon. And we cannot allow the situation where foreign governments or anybody that's not Ireland is responsible for feeding us, because that will go badly in the long run. I know that sounds a bit melodramatic in that, but look, that's my opinion on the thing. So that will be it. In terms of the climate change thing, all right, let's actually, again, like most of my policies and everything, okay, it's time to sit down and actually have a proper conversation about this, scrutinize this theory, and then, look, they can't have it scrutinized, because you scratch the surface of it, the whole thing falls apart. It's nonsense. We could talk more about that if that upsets people. I have a lot more to say on that, on how I came to my conclusions on climate change and all the rest of it. And that's a lot of research in that, and my videos are already too long. So if you want to do a separate video on why I believe the catastrophic anthropogenic climate change theory is a load of pseudoscientific nonsense, I will. But we'll see what people say on that. So that's it. Get rid of those policies now. Let the farmers get back to growing food. And in the meantime, we will have a proper public debate in Ireland amongst the Irish people about whether or not this theory stands up to scrutiny, and then we take it from there. That's supporting rural farmers and supporting rural and farming communities. Thanks very much.